Many centuries have passed since the Ottonian dynasty's illustrious reign came crashing down. Trampled under boot by the resurgent Carolingians, Saxony was thoroughly harried, with fur far surpassing even Charlemagne's war against Widukind. All the while, the princes prostrated themselves before the French, offering oaths laced with sedition and tributes stained in blood. Since then, the Holy Roman Empire's integrity, and by extension that of the Roman Catholic Church, have been called into question. Trinacria's fall to the Saracen menace in the 14th century came as a devastating blow to Italy's security, followed mere decades later by Bohemia's immolation in the Hussite War. Now, as if adding naphtha to a fire, 1443's humiliation of Valencia dangles precariously over Emperor Lothair's head, like the sword of Damocles. Whether the emperor or the princes prevail, there is no doubt that the empire's destiny shall be forged through blood and iron. Here we are, beautiful yellow France. It's been quite a while since I've played any Francia here on the channel, so I hope that you guys are looking forward to a little bit of something different. But today we're going to be doing a little bit of an edited campaign, an abridged playthrough, so to speak. The 1.9 update for Ante Bellum is right around the corner, just a few months away, I believe. And Parmalion, the Giga Chad himself, was so kind as to give me early access to this beautiful, absolutely incredible mission tree, and I am very, very excited to go through it with you guys. We're going to start off with a disaster, as many of you who are savvy with Ante Bellum may know, but once we finish it, we're going to get some modifiers and the ability to go down some pretty interesting paths. There is actually two branching paths based on our choice with conquering Normandy. We will unlock this big branch over here, and then reuniting the Western realm with the HRE, which basically will allow us to go either Holy Roman Empire, the kind of empire-focused path, or strike out on our own, maybe even leave the empire for all I know, and dominate as the true Franks that we really are. Of course, down near the bottom we have our obligatory colonial branch, but we're probably not going to be doing that today, at least not in any major capacity. We also have a few disloyal subjects, though I don't know if that is going to stay an issue. I'm not really too fussed about them. We'll figure out how that goes. But first and foremost, we're going to have to deal with the Frankish succession crisis, which is going to happen here in about 3 months. So we'll have to sort that out. In the meantime, we're going to rival Andalusia, who will also be going through their own disaster, and Lotharingia, because they suck and we hate them. Feel free to stop and read the long flavor text, but the gist of it is that we are going to, be going through a disaster. Or what you can do is you can, avoid it if you're a coward and play as France, which is absolutely not going to happen. We also have the Kingdom of Italy and the Empire, which is vanilla as far as I know. And so here we have some more flavor text that is needless to say going to tell us we are going to get absolutely get spanked by them. But the bright side is that a lot of them will spawn in provinces that we realistically can fight them on, and it shouldn't be a huge issue. We have the return of the Hussites here. Feel free to stop and read, like I always say, but we can go ahead and yoink the electorate from Bohemia, or we can just lose some prestige and loyalty. We also have some enemies at home that are going to be popping in one of these provinces, so I think we might as well just yoink that from them. We also have enemies abroad, which is that's fine. I like that. Also, here are my choices for estate privileges if you want to take a quick look. Nothing too out of the ordinary. And since we have an army equal to Andalusia, we are going to go ahead and get a free general, which is always appreciated, as well as morale damage received and morale damage, and a claim on the Iberia region, which I think obviously we're going to have to pursue that, yeah? Some army deserters, but a couple of boosts to our military are certainly going to be useful for handling this crisis here. Well, it appears that we indeed have a little bit of a bastard going on in the family, and that's okay, because what that is going to do is that is going to allow us to get out of this disaster. We are going to get our heir. We are then going to boost up our stability next month, and we need to boost it up one more time, and we will be done with it, which is very nice. Of course, we are the emperor, so we probably should at least try to make sure that we are keeping our friends here. The Renaissance is here, and it actually spawned in Constantinopolis, which is pretty funny. I like that. Now let's go ahead and click this button here, finish up our disaster, and take a look at the text, as well as gaining an extra stability, which is very nice. I like that. And now we're going to actually be able to play the game. We can play through our disaster here that has fired. We will gain some unrest reduction as well as manpower recovery speed, which we definitely need, and remove that succession crisis from our country, which is a modifier that we did have. We will also be able to get some extra boosts to help us speed up our recovery, as well as giving us a half off mill guy, which I will certainly pay for. Extra manpower recovery speed. We're gaining 1100 a month, which is insane. We are the emperor after all. Oh, nice. The Hansa up here, adding some provinces to the HRE, which is always appreciated. I believe these guys all joined. Could be wrong, but I want to say that they joined. Should probably try to get my subjects loyal so I can start integrating them as well. I don't actually know how this works with these like apanage or however that's pronounced. In the meantime, I got a claim over here. So why don't we just, you know, make it happen. Head on in and kill off some boys. Looks like I actually need to get mill access through these guys, which is kind of funny. They have switched over to low enthusiasm. I'd like to get a little bit of money from them in this war. There we go. They just took the Channel Islands from Normandy in this war, but I don't think I can take anything more than this, and I'd much rather would have the money to start paying off a couple of our loans. So Calais is fine with me. A little late, but I actually had bad relations and it wouldn't let me pass it for a while, and then I got stuck in that war. But here we go, the call for ranks reform. So that's pretty good. The Emperor is dead. Long live the Emperor. We've reconquered Calais, giving us an event here that will allow us to designate it as our staple port, as well as produce or change its trade good to cloth, which is great. Sadly, it's not really going to do much for us just now, but eventually, hopefully it will. We can do a little bit of culture conversion, and why not? We're going to have rebels there, so why not just make it our primary culture? We've revitalized the economy, so let's go ahead and go with some national tax and inflation reduction, as well as some prosperity in Ile-de-France, which is always appreciated. We actually almost had it, but now we officially do. We have expanded the Navy as well, going ahead to give us some sailor and some morale of navies, which we very well may need. First idea group, I think we just go with influence. I definitely plan to do a little bit of vassal play, and that seems like the best way to go about it. Definitely need to focus on getting Gascony to like us a little bit more. They're problematic. They have been problematic basically since the very beginning, but we might be able to make this happen eventually. We just need to, you know, handle their loyalty. The fact that Lotharingia is supporting them is definitely not helpful. We have now placated them, which will give us some bonuses, and annex relations impact would have been useful before, but instead I annexed all my subjects before. But either way, we get some claims that I would definitely like to push, considering the fact that it is all owned by one person. That would be a pretty solid buff for us, getting all that land up there. We'll call in our friend, go for the highest dev province, which is this Caen, or however that is pronounced, and let's go on in, do a little bit of occupations over here. These guys should basically just be done day one. It shouldn't really be an issue. These guys are going to get punched for a nice little chunk of cash, and then the rest are going to get occupied, because why not? Nice little chunk of cash for us. Very good. Well, that's a bit of AE. I think we might be able to manage a little bit, but definitely not that much. Switching over our advisor here may help a bit. Yeah, I think that is very much a reasonable amount of AE. I would love to be Pope Man, but alas, we have not gotten it yet. With the conquest of Brittany, we can go ahead and get the event, the Catholicon, as well as get some unrest and autonomy change over in Brittany, which is really appreciated. We will also get ourselves a national unrest guy here for half off, which is very good. I'm not sure if we can really afford him right now, but we will also get a first trilingual dictionary, giving us some Pope mana and some institution spread, which is very nice. We have not embraced the Renaissance yet, so hopefully we'll be able to get it pretty quickly. Yeah, we've got a bit of a coalition here, but hopefully it won't last for too long. I'd like to get rid of it before, you know, it becomes much of an issue, though it's ticking down pretty quickly with most all of the people that are in it, so I'm not really too worried about it for the time being. In order to get to our first branching set, we're going to have to get the Channel Islands from England, who are in our coalition, so we're going to have to wait for that to disband, at least for a little bit, and we'll sort it out from there. Young Charles here will actually be a new patron of the arts, which is pretty cool. We're also going to get some splendor and innovativeness gained for 20 years, as well as a very cheap admin advisor, who I will almost certainly take, especially if he is as cheap as the rumors say. Jean-Claude, or however that is pronounced, you are an absolute stud. We also have the crown seat of Paris here, giving us some diplo annex costs and some estates influence stuff. So clearly I don't think I'm doing stuff in the appropriate intended order, but this is fine. I think we're doing just fine. The main thing that I'm looking to do is to get the Channel Islands here from England. We're just waiting on the coalition to disband for that. That will unlock the branching mission tree, which will be very cool. I do believe we'll probably go with the English focus. It just makes the most sense to me, just because who doesn't like a little bit of Angevin LARP? And after that, we just need to click this button here, and we're going to hopefully get a personal union over Lotharingia, which will be pretty powerful. We're going to strengthen that Frankish feudalism. I know it does hurt my reform progress growth, which is pretty bad, especially early on. but the idea of playing a little bit of vassal play definitely appeals to me, especially if we're going to be going down influence ideas. Well, that was not intended, but we have indeed got declared war on here. Well, time to fight off some bad boys. I think we can handle this. Let's go with quality for the next idea group. People just keep on piecing out one by one, but we're still holding strong. I haven't lost the fort yet. All my friends are getting sieged down, but we're holding in there. Lombardy seems to be pretty happy to stay with us, and luckily for us, since we're the emperor, we have like unlimited manpower, which is really nice. Kill shot. Bam, boy. Oh, you love to see battles like that. The Battle of Toulon. We're mopping them up now. I will exclusively take the Channel Islands in this war. That is all I want, and that will disband our coalition. It's only going to give us 5% of a peace deal with everybody, so it'll be basically a little over 5 years, and then we will be able to get our PU on our friends over in Lotharingia soon enough. More stack wipes. The Battle of Paris this time. And it looks like these guys are coming in for a little bit more. So why don't we just meet them there? Just like that, we can take it. Might take a little bit of money just to pay off some of the money that I lost in the war. But that is all fine and dandy. We'll now core that up, and we will click the mission here to conquer Normandy, which will allow us to pick our path here. Yeah, there it is. So if you guys are wondering why things don't work correctly, make sure you check your mod list, because I had bigger UI installed, and I'm pretty sure it caused issues with this. So let's go ahead. We'll take a look at what they both give us, mostly here towards the end, so we can move down into the Maghreb and start colonizing that area down there, as well as North Africa. 5% admin efficiency for 20 years. That's pretty solid. Lots of claims over here in Italy. But let's see here. Palermo Palace Complex, great project. But if we decide to go this way, we can start working towards pushing over into the British Isles, which I think makes the most sense economically, because it's going to allow us to collect in the English Channel, which is really, really good. We can push down to end the Heptarchy, giving us some Angloy culture, which is very cool. And then rule Britannia, which will give us some Marines and global settler increase, so we can lean into that colonization stuff. So let's go ahead and select that one. I'm not going to click this just yet, because I want to have as long with that CB as humanly possible. Let our AE tick down just a bit more, and we'll take it from there. It's time to go to war. Our coalition is definitely gone. We have like no aggressive expansion, and at this point there's a couple of wars that we have lined up here, but I wanted to line up a couple of missions first. This one giving us French bombard guns, which is going to give us, or bombard or whatever, fort assault and fort level contribution to siege, or artillery level, as well as some free cannons, which is fine. That fort assault ability may very well come in handy. Rival the Royal Navy, which is going to give us a very solid admiral, ship durability, and naval combat off of owned coast, which will basically just be down here. But I've also subjugated Tyrone, because they have claims on all this land, and we will certainly use those to our advantage. We're gonna hold off on this one just for now, but that gave us lots of claims over here, and we have our armies situated over here in our subjects' lands. We are going to get that army turned up here, and woohoo, 5-3, not bad, not bad. Navy is already ready, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down to speed 4. We're going to look for their navy, and we're going to hopefully sink them as quickly as we possibly can, especially if they are out of port somewhere, which I assume they kind of are probably up here if I had to guess. In terms of what we want to take, I would probably set stuff in Ireland to be the Wargle. That way I can just take Ulster and then get that set up. So let's say we want to go for like this province over here, and that will be that. Oh, how's it feel to have the wooden wall turned on you, Cerdic Nui? Ah, I love that. Oh, does it feel good to sink the English flagship? Good riddance, man. Yeah, man, the manpower bonuses you get from being the emperor are just like not fair at all. I am absolutely dominating, and I am not trying. Oh man, the Battle of Sussex is an absolute total victory for the Franks. How about we avenge Hastings here, huh? Nice little placeholder, but I'm sure it's going to be a little more interesting once you eventually make it here. But we can get a restoration of Union CB on England that will last for 25 years, as well as a army tradition for the rest of the game, which is pretty good. So that means we should, if we are able to take a smaller piece at the cost of possibly having to come back and attack these guys in a shorter period of time. Not too bad. Might as well actually take some money. I literally just pieced out Sweden because subjects are overpowered. We're going to hopefully get a little bit more money and pay off some of our debt, because we do have a bit. I went indebted to the burghers for this war, and things have actually paid off. We actually come out with money, all of Ireland, well, minus one province for our subject, who we will instantly attack right now. And then we are going to be in a good spot to push over into Lotharingia. The Emerald Isle is now entirely under our rule. Oh, yo, they formed Ireland as our subject as well. I didn't know they'd do it, and I love it. I'm so glad they did. Oh, that's gorgeous. That is gorgeous. Do they get their own ideas? Oh, shock damage received. Irish endurance. Very good. We can now form the gendarmes, or whatever this is, which is going to give us some army professionalism, as well as some cavalry stuff. But I assume that that is a tier 5, and I spent a crazy amount, or a tier 4, and I spent a ton of early stuff keeping my subjects loyal. So I think we're going to have to wait until we get here, but cav to infantry ratio, it's pretty good. Cavalry shock, my goodness. I think it's about time we popped that golden era, because we are about to centralize France, getting a permanent claim, but more importantly, a subjugation CB on these guys, who also just happened to have a PU on Galicia, and I assume it was spontaneous, but that means if we PU them, we will also PU these guys. We're going to have to fight Andalusia. I'm not too fussed about that. I think that the numbers are very much going to be in our favor. While we're here, we might as well Latinize the Bretons, going ahead and moving Breton into the French culture group, which is cool. It will give us 1 base tax in the Brittany area, which is also very cool. And dev cost in the Brittany area, as well as prosperity for the rest of the game. So this area instantly becomes much more hospitable, so to speak. And now we can start working through this stuff here, because Fortify the Coastline is going to give us that extra bit of wooden wall, which I definitely would like to have. Yeah, this really hasn't been too bad. Andalusia is down here sieging down 1 province. I actually forgot to set that. They sieged down 1 fort, but my fort line is still continuous. Now they're working on this one, but doesn't really matter. They don't even have a general down there. I don't really know. They've got a lot of troops, but they're not really doing much. I assume that most of their troops are overseas, because they have gone exploration. Of course, we have the Brest dockyards here, so let's get our dry dock over there, as well as 5 extra heavy ships. Oh my gosh, my ships are just headhunting these guys. Look at it. Look at it, dude. We're absolutely destroying them. That is so good. I love that. Look at that. Oh, it's so good. We just sunk 13 ships just right there. Oopsies. I didn't even see that happening. Ireland is full occupied. Well, better than me. Oh, Andalusia. Always feels good to beat up on our old enemies here. Sadly, I could have gotten the humiliate off, but honestly, these loans, I really want to avoid more debt than I need to, and we've been kind of like riding debt the whole game. Regardless, what this is going to do is this is going to allow us to form that union, take all of their money as well. They will no doubt be very disloyal. They are actually a historical rival, if I recall correctly. So this is going to be a little tough. We're going to see what we can do with that. Main thing is we need to get the relations up, because Charles here is already 49 and he could kick the bucket at any time, and we need to make sure that he doesn't. Luckily, Galicia is actually very happy to be our subject, so under new management, but that's not really a big deal because we've got a big old vassal swarm now. Might as well go ahead and click this button and get that years for personal union integration, as well as the morale of armies and prestige. That's the big one, and some mill mana. Why not? A bit of a coalition gonna form, but at this point I'm actually not concerned, because we just subjugated 2 of the major people that could join. Arlay is the other one that really kind of irritates me. I would like to annex them, but I believe I need to get some claims. Actually, I have a PUCB on them, so let's go ahead and push that one as well. Why not? Can't join a coalition against me if you are my subject, so seems appropriate, yeah? Separate piece people out, make sure that the war chest stays filled, and we will be able to keep Lotharingia loyal by the looks of it. 1 more month, and there we go. We will not lose them on death of our ruler, and we actually are very close to getting them under 50%. I mean, it's not super close, but we can also support loyalists and stuff like that. So I think we're going to be able to keep Lotharingia loyal. Maybe not forever, but at least for now. This union is without a doubt going to make us a pariah, but honestly, I'm not really too fussed about it, because it may end up being a good call in terms of keeping things, you know, a little defensive. We have subjects that will kind of be our border forts. Okay, well, it looks like the Emperor is dead. Long live the Emperor. We are still the HRE Emperor. And we have the House of Defois, I guess, apparently. That's fine with me. We are very barely making anything here, and it is mostly because Emperor the Elector is our subject. Yeah. Wait, who's the subject? They're not my subject. Styria is a subject of Bavaria. Now, we can probably sort that out. But with that guy dying, that's actually kind of a good thing, because our heir was only like, what, 30-something? 31? So yeah, I think it's a good time as any to peace out and give this guy a piece of our mind. and more importantly, a piece of our leadership. We're definitely going to get a coalition, but as long as they're loyal, I really don't care at all. Meanwhile, our truce with England is up in 4 years, and you already know we're going to attack them. In the meantime, how about we unite the thrones of our lay, getting a big hit to our aggressive expansion with a bunch of people, which is nice. AE Impact, which is also nice, and improve relations for 20 years, which is pretty cool. We can now unite the Western Realm, and I'm going to have to drop my UI mod because otherwise it won't show the branching paths. And now it is time to unite the Western Realm. Taking a look at what we unlock, we're going to take a look at the Holy Roman Empire branch. We're not going to go down it because I think we've done a pretty good job about making ourselves pariahs with the people around us. But yeah, you can get some pretty solid bonuses if we were to go down this route. You can buff yourself as the Emperor quite heavily, and apparently getting this Imperium Romanum event after buffing up your national ideas and all of that stuff. There's definitely quite a bit that I think you could experience, a whole extra reason to go through another playthrough, in my opinion. But today what we're going to be doing is going through this one, Imperium Francorum. Very good. Going to empower some national ideas. Core creation costs is very good. Don the Iron Crown. So we've got some pretty good stuff. Release Italy as a junior partner in a personal union. I like the vassal play. We're going with that sort of route here. And so what this is going to require us is to push into Italy. Obviously makes a lot of sense. And get back on over to Aachen, which is, rightful Frankish clay. But first and foremost, we need to make sure that we are settled on the diplomatic front and not going to completely fall apart. We got excommunicated, but seriously, that on the yearly tick here, we will be able to ensure that all of our subjects love us and are happy with us. And we're about to work our way through here. Lotharingia is loyal, so I think we've just locked it in, lads. Vassal Swarm absolutely is going to be a thing. And we still have a Restoration of Union CB on these guys for at least a little bit longer. Our truce is up here in May of 19, and our coalition has not grown yet, but I'm sure it will, especially if we get our PU over here. So, I mean, what's another one? You know, might as well go for it. We're also finally making money, which feels very good. The Reformation still hasn't begun, despite it being 1518. Clearly, we just haven't made it that far yet, but we're excommunicated, so we're not, or we were excommunicated. What, did it get lifted? Oh, no, we are excommunicated. What's going on? Shouldn't our name be read? We're excommunicated, though. That's weird. Also, what's going on over here, huh? Georgia is an ally of Byzantium, and Byzantium is thrashing the Nizrids, which is all right. If you had that on your bingo cards, go ahead and cross it off. For the time being, though, I do think we are going to attack these guys and have them release this elector. That way, if we want to push through some reforms, we probably should. I'll just let my subjects handle them because vassal swarms are very overpowered. Let's go ahead and push this restoration CB. Sweden actually won't join them, which is very fortuitous for us. So let's go ahead and do that. And that is going to be one more personal union to be adding under our belt. Coalition is starting to shape up, but whether it'll fire or not remains to be seen. Could build up a couple of extra paladins here. Our new fancy units. Use them to defend Paris if push comes to shove. If they wanted to attack us, though, I'm really not going to be too worried about it. They've only got 30,000 troops, and none of them are near me, so I guess this one's just free. Styria will be released, and I'll just take whatever money they're willing to give me. That will help us out on the Imperial Authority front. Might be able to pass one or two, maybe. I don't know. Reformation still isn't here, but at this point, I don't really care about the HRE Emperorship. I just want to be it so I can be strong. That's really it. All right, Holland, give monies, please. And then who else is in this war? I don't even know. These guys over here? It don't matter. Take that union, take that money. That is so much money. We are rich, boy. We now have like 19 personal unions, and that is very nice. Of course, relations are a little strained, but we'll see what we can do with that. And fight the rebels for them. That actually helps out with relations quite a bit. And now that we have ended the Heptarchy, the culture in this Lundenvik or whatever will become Anglois, and it will start to spread throughout the country over time. Permanent claim on the Britain region, but that's not actually useful for us. So I'm curious if this will affect their culture then too. Is it in their group? No. Interesting. Well, okay. Regardless, rule Britannia and all that. We get 200 mana, which is incredibly nice, as well as some global sailor increase and some colonial national sailor stuff. So, well, maybe we'll do with that. But, probably not. Let's go infrastructure ideas for our next group. Might as well. We're ahead of time, and we'll be able to switch over here shortly. Oh, yo, this Persia. I can't really see them, but I see them coming. They're touching up the borders over here. somehow Byzantium didn't end up taking land from the Nizrids, but then the Nizrids are getting beat up on by the Seljuks by the looks of it. So yeah, I don't really know what's going on over here. Them and Comania. So also Sicily over here. So that's pretty good. We definitely have some enemies, but I don't think I'm really too fussed about a lot of this stuff going on. But yeah, I just very briefly like kind of breezed over them, but these guys are actually kind of cracked. They get fire damage received, shock damage received, so they receive 25% less damage, meaning they take 25% less casualties, but they also take 25% less morale damage. So they stay in the fight that much longer. So very nice units if you are looking for kind of a strong front line. They're loyal now. So that's that. We've got a bunch of very happy, healthy personal unions, and I am here for it. That coalition is actually insane, and we are almost certain to not get the the thing again. Saxony just joined my coalition, which is absolutely tragic because I was hoping that we could be friends, but it is what it is. They'll still vote for me despite being in my coalition, so mildly hilarious. Always build workshops. ABW. Always build workshops. Best investment when it comes to money, because all the production dev you do later on just actually scales that much better. So that's the way you want to do it. England went to Explo expansion, but also Galicia went to Explo expansion. So we're going to have quite a bit of colonial stuff that I don't even have to colonize for at all. So add that to the list of reasons why this vassal swarm is absolutely going to be bussin'. Go ahead and do a little bit of indebtedness to the burghers here so we can embrace this institution, take that idea group, and begin working through infrastructure. It's going to be really nice. I love radical reforms. Such cheap mana, and then you also get to rehire them if you want. It's such a wonderful little event there. I love cheesing it. We will fortify the coastline for 50 years, getting us naval combat off owned coast, which is super powerful, and every province that has a coastal defense will receive 1 bonus mill development, which is wonderful. Now all we need to do is get some trade power up here, and either finish trade power, or trade ideas rather, and have 50 mercantilism, which we may not be able to do, but it would rename the trade channel there, as well as get us some permanent trade efficiency, which is really good. Yeah, for now we're just kind of waiting for our coalition to disband. A lot of the AE is very much manageable at this point, but people just need to leave. Finally making really good money, almost 21 ducats per month, with a giant army of almost 100,000 troops in the field. So things are definitely on the up and up. It only took me 100 years or 90 years, but I feel very powerful. It does look like the Reformation is here. We've got quite a few provinces following Protestantism, and it looks like Protestants actually have religious schools now? Follows Lutheran, huh? Okay, so we have religious schools. I don't know if that's new or not, but first time I'm seeing it. If I wanted to, I could pass this reform here, which will give me state maintenance. That's about it. We could force people into the empire, but I think I'd actually prefer to keep the imperial authority. That way we can ensure that we are going to maintain our emperorship, yeah? I don't care if the HRE is strong. I don't care literally at all. It doesn't matter to me. All I care is that I get the bonuses from it, which I am definitely doing. It's also quite a bit easier to expand inside of the HRE if you're the emperor. Let's see if we can get Liège. They're friendly, so they should leave our coalition. Very good. I will turn around and immediately attack them, which is going to be very much the way that we're going to handle this, because I want to annex Aachen. I border these lands because I integrated some subjects over there. So we definitely should be pushing for it, because that will allow us to get this Imperial Archstool, getting us some stuff to move our capital to Aachen even, which is a good little bit of flavor there. Oh man, it looks like boys over here, Bavaria and Bohemia, are definitely doing a bit of expansion. Sadly, the Tengri boys have been, you know, converted or conquered or whatever. A little bit of extra Diplo rep. We are actually going to sweep the Empire, and I have not paid attention at all. Going the Empire path may be super fun, honestly. I'd be open to doing it if you guys are interested in it. Make sure you leave a comment below. Let me know. Go ahead and take my claims over here. Very good. I had to attack through Liège because they are a free city. So this is the best I could do given the situation. And then we rinse and repeat, getting Genoa out of our coalition, only to immediately attack them. And kick their teeth in and take their land. Easy enough, right? Get them over 50, usually they'll flip to friendly, leave the coalition, and then we will just turn right around and attack them. Easy enough. Oh my gosh, look at these numbers, bro. I don't even have to move my army, and I won't. I will not move my army. The Valencian Centenary. Wow. Okay. Go ahead and stop and read that flavor text if you like. That is a bit of a lore dump. Gonna feel nice to finally get some land down here in Italy. Ah, coalition is disbanded. Feels good. That AE is very, very manageable. And we have the Imperial Archstool. I don't think we're gonna move our capital to Aachen, but We could if we wanted to. More importantly, though, we get a bunch of claims over here that we will certainly be able to push through. And a couple more provinces over here that I have claims on. Might as well push for them. Sadly, it looks like Lombardy is going to be a bit of a douche. That's okay. I mean, we're gonna end up kind of embracing our coalition yet again. Let's go ahead and switch over to this guy. We're gonna need him. Take out a loan, small loan of 1 million ducats, and take that out there. Bit of that right there. It's fine. We're gonna need to dissolve this alliance. We're in a war with them, but as soon as we're done with this war, we're gonna dissolve that alliance. That's another peace deal. Go ahead and take that. And once again, wait out the coalition. Let's start annexing these boys over here. Here we go. The emperor is dead. Long live the new emperor. 214, absolute garbage. But a 444 heir, I think we may be all right. And honestly, lads, at this point, it's just a matter of waiting out truces, conquering some land, avoiding a coalition, rinse, repeat, and do a bit of conquering, and you can get some very, very incredible bonuses as I would have showed you. But I encourage you to subscribe to Ante Bellum if you haven't already. Update 1.9 is going to be coming out here after the new year, and it is going to be so good. You can join the Discord for more information if you want teasers or anything like that. It's going to be linked in the description. If you enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more of these sort of abridged campaigns, let me know in the comments below. And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe and ding the bell so you get notified when these videos go up live.
Special thanks to Kaiser Dar of Acadia, Sheol, Gamus23, Ian Powell, Cannon Fodder, Josh Kopczynski, Agent Rhino, Blonde Damon, Isaiah, Rover, Bubba J, Saranska, Ricardo, Cobalt, Rex, Nathan Albright, and many more.